Honey, I'm missing a magazine. Can you get it for me?
Here you go.
Greetings, toy enthusiasts, and welcome to Toys and DeCaren. I'm your host, DeCaren Dace, and today we're having a look at the Modulus Regulator. Some call them pros and cons, some call them likes and dislikes. For the body of my reviews from here on out, I'm going to start calling them nerfs and not so nerfs. Those of you already familiar with the Nerf Modulus Regulator will notice that I'm missing an accessory. Guess what? I'm not. Enough said. So first with the nerfs. I find with the Nerf Modulus Regulator that I really appreciate its color scheme with the blue striping against the main white body and the gray highlights. I also find that I like the grip style. Some don't really like the enclosed grip, but I find it more comfortable, more secure feeling, I guess you might say. And then the size of the grip is very satisfactory while also feeling like it wouldn't be too big or too small for a child's hands versus an adult's hands. And then there are the ever-important tactical rails. The regulator has a top rail, a bottom rail, and even a rail on one of the barrel extensions. Speaking of barrel extensions, the Nerf regulator comes with two, which is always satisfying from the perspective of customizing your blaster. From barrel extensions, we can move to the back of the blaster where there is the stock. Now, many Nerf blasters do come with a stock and with various functions and features, including folding into the blaster to get it out of the way, to magazine storage, and even being able to detach the stock in order to fire an emergency shot. With the regulator, we have the magazine storage, which with the magazines that the regulator comes with, I might not prefer to stick with the 12-round magazine, instead possibly switching out to a 6. It would feel a lot more out of the way, a lot more comfortable, a little less cumbersome. Beyond that, the stock is also very firm. It attaches to the back of the blaster, and there's no concern with it wiggling off or stretching off to one side if you're pressing it firmly into your shoulder. And then last of all, I find that the stock is a very satisfying length, given that I'm an adult frame, and some of the stocks that have come with Nerf blasters feel pretty short so that you feel all squished into the blaster. And now we're down to my last two Nerfs, one of which is the empty magazine light. Now, I just find this a really cool feature, and I imagine it would be particularly useful when you're involved in a Nerf war. It's pretty simple. As soon as your magazine comes to empty and you're still pulling on the trigger and the belt is not contacting any further darts, the light will blink. And then you know that it's time to swap out your magazine so that you're not defenseless. And my final nerf for the Nerf Modulus Regulator is the switch fire. Now, this is my favorite feature of the regulator, and amongst almost all my blasters, the favorite feature in my entire collection. It allows you to select your fire from single shot to 3-round burst, or at least as Hasbro advertises it, several rounds, and even to automatic fire, where you can just hold onto the trigger and spray and pray. And now on to the not so Nerf, and I can pretty much sum that up in a couple of words. The design. Nerf went with some pretty significant changes from some of their previous blasters on this one, and I'll go through a few of them that I've noticed. Particularly would be the position of the magazine. On a lot of their clip system blasters, they have the magazine much closer to the handle. And in this case, you can see that they've put a hand grip between the grip and the magazine well, which in the end, if you take the grip of the blaster, for an adult my size, makes it feel kind of cramped in. It's a very comfortable grip, I can say, but it's a bit of a strange change for the Nerf engineers to have made on this blaster. Moving on from there, one of my Nerf comments was the fact that it had top and bottom rails. I would have to say a not so Nerf is there continue to be blasters that get released that don't maximize their tactical rails, and in this case I'm sure that there would have been a way to form the body and to put some side rails on either side of this blaster just to make it that much more fun to customize the blaster with flashlights and red dots and scopes and all the like as you have it. Now, I know that I said that the bottom rail was part of a Nerf element to this barrel, but it also ends up being a slightly not so Nerf element as well because of how short it is and how tight it is into the magazine well, which basically means that it is only good for vertical grips, and that's about it. You can't fit any of the red dot sights, the flashlights, or anything because they're too long and they'll bump into the magazine before they lock into place. And continuing with the rails idea, this is the first blaster I've ever owned which has gripped the accessories so hard. It's almost ridiculous. It makes sure that your accessories are going to stay where they need to be, but if you want to change out your accessories, you essentially have to hammer them off, which I don't prefer to do to my accessories because I want them to last a while. And finally, on the not so Nerf side of things with the regulator, I would say would have to be these barrel extensions that are scopes. Don't agree with that whatsoever. I don't have the original Modulus ECS-10, which had the barrel extension that had rails top and bottom. All I know for sure is that making barrel extensions that are supposedly scopes, one of the most worthless ideas ever. I can't put any accessories on the bottom of the barrels, and this is not the aesthetic that I want in a scope. I'm sorry, it makes a nice straight tube, but I want my scope to look like a badass scope. So my final thoughts on the Nerf Modulus regulator. As much as I might have some issues, particularly in association to the rails, whether it be the placement or how tight-fitting the accessories end up on it, overall, I really enjoy this blaster. It's very solid. It's a reasonable weight, even considering the 4C batteries that are in it, and it operates very smoothly with its belt-fed firing mechanism. Beyond that, the two new features that it has, which are the Fire Select and the Empty Mag Indicator, are two features that I don't have on any other of my blasters, which makes it a very interesting and valuable addition to my collection. And that's all I have to say about this blaster. And I hope you enjoyed my Nerf and not so Nerf elements in this video. And until next time, just remember to build it, blast it, and enjoy it. If you liked this video and found it useful, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. I'm on social media at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and I also have a blog at toysandtokaren.com, and all of this is listed in the description below.